happy people. So today in the kitchen, well, my dining room, not the kitchen, we are going to be making a alkaline cream of mushroom soup, the condensed cream of mushroom soup. So that way we can substitute it in recipes that calls for a condensed cream of mushroom soup, but they're usually not vegan or alkaline at all. So today we're going to alkaline some condensed cream of mushroom soup. So stay tuned to after the intro. Okay, so now we are ready to make this. To make this today, we're going to need a couple ingredients, not too many, but I already have some grapeseed oil in my pan getting hot here, and we are going to need some mushrooms. You can use I have 2 cups of minced baby bellas. That is this kind right here, for people who don't know the difference. But you can use the button, you can use the cremini, either one of those will do. I wouldn't recommend using other kinds unless you just don't care about your money and wasting it like that, because the other ones are usually a little more expensive. So these are usually available at just about every grocery store, whereas the other ones you might have to find at Asian stores or something like that, or order online. So we're going to use the baby bellas today. So my oil is heating. So I have 1 teaspoon of alkaline garlic. If you don't know how to make this, go check out my alkaline garlic video and you can see how to make this. And this is the minced alkaline garlic, not the powdered one. Stirring it around in our oil here. There we go. And now we're going to add in our onions. I just rough chop these. You don't have to like mince or chop these. You don't have to mince the mushrooms. I just do in advance because you can easily just throw it in the blender after you're all done and puree it up. Now with our onions, you don't want to caramelize these. You're not trying to brown them and bring out the sweetness in them. You just want them to be soft, translucent. Alright, so now that our onions are softened up and have softened up, I swear I mess up every time I turn the camera on. I don't know what it is. Same camera and the lights, I just tongue-tied. We're going to add, this is 3 cups of minced mushroom. You could add 2 if you're not crazy about mushrooms, but I love mushrooms, so it's 3 cups. But you can do 2 if you just are making it just using the recipe. You don't really care about how much mushroom flavor you get. Just gonna mix that up together there, get our mushrooms to sweating. Alright, so our mushrooms have sauteed down now. They have released their juices and cooked down quite a bit. So now I'm just going to take out like a spoonful of this just to put in the end, because I'm going to blend this up in the end. So just to be able to put some mushroom pieces back in to see little chunks. You don't have to do this if you want a smooth one. If you just want a smooth condensed cream of mushroom, then you don't have to take them out and add them in the end. I'm just doing it because I like chunks of mushrooms in my food and I don't want it all blended up. So I'm just going to take out just one spoonful here. Not that much. It really don't need to be that much. And now we're going to add our seasonings here. And I have some sea salt, some papaya seeds. Not the alkaline black pepper this time because it has the green in it. I don't want my condensed cream of mushroom to be green. So I'm just using the papaya seed grounded up. I got some ginger powder, of course. Got to have my ginger, and I got some ground coriander seed. Get it all out. Get it all out. And we're just going to stir this all up together. Get a good mix, get it all mixed in together. Make sure you scrape the bottom there, get all those little bits off. Now we're going to add our flour. This is the spelt flour. It is the regular brown flour. It is not the white spelt. And I'm going to start off with about 3 tablespoons of flour. Oh, the ceiling fan is on. Just move my flour right over there. You may need a little bit more just depending on how juicy your mushrooms are. But we'll start with 3 tablespoons first. Get that mixed in. You want to cook your flour, you don't want raw flour. But you'll be able to taste it in your end result. Alright, so we've cooked our flour down, so now we're going to add, I have 1 cup of veggie broth. This has a little mushroom broth in it too from when I was making some soy sauce, alkaline soy sauce. I'll have to post a video for that. I didn't think to make a video when I was making it, so the next time I need some, I'll make the video. And I have 1 cup here of walnut milk. And we're just going to pour the walnut milk in first. And I am going to switch utensils here because you want to be able to whisk this up very good so you don't have clumps of flour. Alright, and we just want to get that all whisked all nice together. Let it start getting a little thick for you with the flour so you can see if you need to add more flour or not. And I'm going to start now adding my veggie broth. And I usually just add a little bit at a time. As it's thickening up, I add a little bit more. To thicken up, I add a little bit more till I'm finished. I'll just add the rest of the veggie broth now. And now you just want to bring this to a boil. Once it starts boiling, you're going to bring it down to a simmer and let it cook for about 5 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes, just until you get the thickness that you like. Again, as with any recipe, when it comes to what you like, if you want it to be a little more runny, then stop it before it gets to be too thick. But if it gets too thick for you, you don't like that, just add a little bit more milk or a little more veggie broth, a little more mushroom water, whichever one. Okay, so this is pretty thick. This is pretty much as thick as I want it to be. So now I'm just going to turn off the fire Let it cool down just a little bit. It doesn't have to be completely cold, but you want it to be cool down just a little bit, so when you put it in your blender, if you got a glass blender, you won't have to worry about it cracking or breaking, or if you got a plastic blender, you won't have to worry about it exploding on you or melting. So I will be right back. I'll let this cool down just a little bit while I change out the cooking station and get the blender, and see you in a minute. Alright, it has been a few minutes here and this has cooled off just enough for me to handle. So I'm just going to pour this in the blender and we're just going to blitz it up just a little bit. Try not to spill this. At this point too, before you put it in the blender, you might want to taste test it, see if it has enough salt for you. Usually it's not about the salt content for me, so usually a half of a teaspoon is enough. And we're just going to blitz this now till we get a nice and creamy. Alright, that should be smooth enough. Should be blitz my onions down pretty good. Oh, that smells so good. It smells just like cream of mushroom soup. It smells like the Campbell's, like once it's been cooked. Alright, so now what we're going to do is move that. I take my mushrooms that I had pulled out earlier and I just throw them in my jar here. And now we're just going to add our cream of mushroom soup to it. Alright, and that is one mixing jar. Just mix it all together. And there you have it. Condensed cream of mushroom soup, alkaline style. Let's see if you guys can see that in that camera. I don't know how well you can see it because it is brown, so, but I'll probably do a better picture, so stay tuned for the pictures. But now you have alkaline condensed cream of mushroom soup that you can substitute in any recipe that calls for condensed cream of mushroom soup. You can actually add water to this and just use it as a mushroom soup, regular mushroom soup. Add more mushrooms, much bigger pieces, whole pieces, a little more onion, and you can have that simply on its own as a mushroom soup. But now you have, like I said, alkaline condensed cream of mushroom soup. So you can substitute it in any recipe that calls for condensed cream of mushroom soup. And that is it, y'all. I personally am about to make a I'm going to make an alkaline green bean casserole, so I need the condensed cream of mushroom soup for that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload that video, and give me a like if you like how I made the alkaline cream of mushroom soup. So now you have that to add to your repertoire things in your kitchen for alkaline substitutes, because that's mainly your biggest thing, right? Like when you're going alkaline, not only do you not know some of the things on the some of the things on the nutritional list, but then you don't know how to substitute things in recipes. Like when it calls for garlic, you don't really know how to substitute garlic, so now there is a garlic substitute. I have a video for that. When it calls for any kind of butters, but you know you can only use like Brazil nut butter or walnut butter, I have a video for that now, so you can substitute that instead of any kind of peanut butter or almond butter or sunflower seed that it calls for. And now you have your substitute for the condensed cream of mushroom soup. Just substituting those things, figuring out what to do with those things, so that way when you are looking at a recipe that you want to try to substitute and try to make alkaline, it makes it much easier if you already have some of these things made. Because like I say, with alkalinity, you do have to build from the ground up. You have to start at the ground floor and build up every recipe, because most of the things in the store do not come already made with that are alkaline friendly. So you have to build your own things. So making your condensed soups, making your garlic, making butters, changing your sugars and things like that. You have your flours. You definitely have to know what flours you have to change and things like that. So This makes it much easier when you already have the substitutes, and when you're looking at a recipe online that you happen to like, or something, a recipe that you've been using for a very long time, and you need to substitute these things, you already have them. And I'm going to stop rambling and going on. And that is it. Like I say, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see how I make my green bean casserole. See if you can figure out what I'm going to use for the green beans. If you know, go ahead and comment down below, and whoever figures it out, I'll try to shout them out in the end if anybody comments. But stay tuned for the next recipe, and until then, stay happy.
Butter on my stress.